Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. The Maroons of Jamaica has filed a lawsuit in the Supreme Court against the government of Jamaica and the Jamaican National Heritage Trust. This is breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Greetings, and salutations to all melanation. Ladies and gentlemen, you know I'm Rastafari, soldier of Deep Roots TV.
Yes,
and if this is your first time tuning in, I'm asking you hit that red subscribe button and leave a truthful comment, ladies and gentlemen. It's being reported that the chief of the Maroons, Richard Currie, has filed a lawsuit in the Supreme Court against the government of Jamaica and the Jamaican National Heritage Trust. The Accompong Maroons and the Jamaican government have been at odds for over, 12 months, stemming mainly from the dispute on the boundaries of the Cockpit Country and the Accompong Maroon ancestral land, and the question of the Maroon sovereignty with the Jamaican state, something which are on the rise right now. For the last year, Currie said, after a number of hair-raising incidents, including sharp and direct verbal brawl between Currie and Prime Minister Andrew Holness, the matters seemingly died down. But with Currie being less vocal on the matter, somewhat, but now it appears that it has rolled up in the recent weeks, because a statement from Currie Sunday is saying that in this era of time under the leadership of the newly democratic leader, myself and the Maroon seeks to defend the land again. We have filed a lawsuit against the government of Jamaica and the Jamaican National Heritage Trust, Currie declared in a video that was posted on his official Instagram account. According to Currie, the lawsuit was filed on May 6, 2022 and outlined redress for the declaration of title under the Registration of the Title Act without prejudice to Maroon sovereignty. The suit also outlined the claim that violation of what is described as constitutional protected rights to private property and observation of political doctrines and trespass on the Maroon estate, with Currie's allegation has been unlawful permitted by the government of Jamaica to be mined. He asserted that the lawsuit will show that the Treaty of 1738 between the Maroons and the British colony authorities, which gave the Maroons sovereignty over their land, remains in effect in Jamaica within the Constitution of 1962. Currie stated, "We haven't gotten to this point because we realize that the door keep closing. There are things happening here on the ground in Accompong that you might not know. There have been threats made on my life. There have been attempts made to subvert the council. There have been many things happening behind closed doors that you might not be privileged of," Currie claimed. "What I fear is that things are taking a direction quite opposite in the direction of progress, and it is, therefore, the intention of the people to make their intentions known to the wider society, to the government of Jamaica, and to the world," said Currie. He stated that the Accompong Maroons have assembled a legal team which includes Issa Buckingham, Charles Gana Singh, and Alessandra LaBeach, along with constitutional support and counseling from Bert Samuels and international attorneys, as well as Maroon Ambassador Anu Tafari Zion L. The first hearing is set, ladies and gentlemen, for July 12th. Now, I want to chime in on the cause and the call of the Maroon. I look at the historical documentations here to get you caught up. If you do not know who the Jamaican Maroons are, they are descendants from the Africans who freed themselves from slavery on the colonials. From the colonials, which are, the British and the Spanish. Now, in Jamaica, the established communities of free blacks in the islands in the mountain interior area, primarily in the Eastern Parish. Africans who were slaves during Spanish rule over Jamaica during 1493 to 1656 may have been the first developers of such refuge community. The English who invaded the island in the 1655 imported, and enslaved Africans to work on the islands in the sugarcane plantation. Africans in Jamaica continually resisted enslavement, with many who freed themselves because Maroons became Maroons. The revolt disrupted the sugar economy in Jamaica and made it less profitable. The revolt described from the British as, terrorists. Now, after British colonial authorities signed a treaty with Leeward Maroons in 1739 and the Windward in 1740, which required them to support the institution of slavery, the importance of the Maroons to the colonial authority declined after slavery was abolished in 1838. So I just wanted to let you know, the Maroons of Jamaica, right, the Leeward Maroons have been freed since 1739. The Windward Maroon since 1740. Slavery was abolished 100 years later in 1838. So the Maroons has been freed over 100 years more than the regular Jamaica. Now the Windward Maroons and those from the Cockpit Country resisted conquest in the First Maroon War in 1728 to 1740, which the colonial government ended 1739 to 1740 by making a treaty and granted land to respected Maroon autonomy in the exchange of the peace and the aiding of the colonial militia. If needed against external enemies, tension between government Alexander Lindsay and the majority of the Leeward Maroons resulted in a Second Maroon War in 1795 to 1796. Although the governor promised leniency to the Maroons' surrender, he later betrayed them and supported by the assembly. Instead, he insisted deported 600 Maroons to British settlements in Nova Scotia. The American slaves who escaped from the United States were also resettled. The report Maroons were unhappy with the condition in Canada, and in the 1800s, a majority of them left and have obtained passage to Freetown. 8 years after Sierra Leone Company established in its Western African presence, which is now present Sierra Leone, as British colony, where they formed Sierra Leone Creole ethnic identity. Now, I wanted to read you all of that, ladies and gentlemen, so you could understand the history of the Maroons in Jamaica. Obviously, the Maroons are ascendants from the African slaves that were brought to Jamaica. And as you heard, slavery was abolished way in 1838. But the Leeward Maroons were free since 1739, and the Windward Maroons were free in 1740. So now, 2022, the Maroons are still holding on to the treaty that was given to the colonial master the British conquerors, yes, the treaty that they are holding on to is a treaty that was signed by Britain in 1739 to the Leeward Maroons and 1740 to the Windward Maroon. And as it says, the requirement was to require them to support the institution of slavery. You are guaranteed the institution of slavery. Now, as they became unimportant to the colonial master after 1838 because slavery was abolished, now the Windward Maroons, kind of stayed in. And now that virgin land is being threatened by the Jamaican government, here we have the chief Richard Currie suing the Jamaican government when the Prime Minister Andrew Holness has spoken. Him said there is going to be one united Jamaica, one land for the people. So ladies and gentlemen, I want you to leave your comment now that you understand that the colonial government ended slavery for the Leeward Maroons, all the way up in 1739, and the Windward Maroons in 1740, and the rest of the island got freed 1838, ladies and gentlemen, 100 years after. You are guaranteed. Now, I know that we are all one, and I'm saying out of many comes one. But it appears that the Windward and the Leeward Maroons have been getting special treatment from the colonial rulers for their support of the institution of slavery, ladies and gentlemen. So let me know if you knew this, and let me know if your opinion has changed about the Maroons, and let me know if you think they have a valid fight, or do Mr. Andrew Holness, the Prime Minister of Jamaica, have a valid point that we need one united Jamaica. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Rastafari, Soldier of Deep Roots TV. Thank you for tuning in. Hit that red subscribe button. Leave your comment. More life, more joy, and more happiness. You stay blessed.
Hello, my name is Ashina, and welcome to Deep Roots TV.
Pick up Deep Roots TV. Respect, make sure to tune in here every time.